Hello, and welcome back to A Chapter a Day. It is Wednesday, March the 6th. So, we are moving on with our reading of Exodus, and we are on chapter 15. So, we know the children of Israel have left Egypt, and Pharaoh foolishly decided to go after them. And the Lord prepared a way for them to go through the sea by parting, having Moses take his rod and part the sea. He sent a wind throughout the night, put a cloud between them and the Egyptians. They could not see each other on either side. And while they were camping out at night, God made a way for them to go through the sea. That must have been something to see. I don't know what it looked like, but they passed through on dry ground. And then when daylight came, the cloud was removed. That was the same cloud that was leading them, the angel of God. And the Egyptians realized, oh my, they are gone. So they started to go through the sea to pursue them. And the sea closed in on them, and every last one of them drowned. So now let's see what happens as they keep moving on. Chapter 15 of Exodus. Then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto the Lord, and spake, saying, I will sing unto the Lord, for he has triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea. The Lord is my strength and song, and he is become my salvation. He is my God, and I will prepare him an habitation. My father's God, and I will exalt him. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his host hath he cast into the sea. His chosen captains also are drowned in the Red Sea. The depths have covered them. They sank into the bottom as a stone. Thy right hand, O Lord, is become glorious in power. Thy right hand, O Lord, hath dashed in pieces the enemy. And in the greatness of thine excellency thou hast overthrown them that rose up against thee. Thou sentest forth thy wrath, which consumed them as stubble. And with the blast of thy nostrils the waters were gathered together. The floods stood upright as an heap, and the depths were congealed in the heart of the sea. The enemy said, I will pursue, I will overtake, I will divide the spoil. My lust shall be satisfied upon them. I will draw my sword, my hand shall destroy them. Thou didst blow with thy wind, the sea covered them. They sank as lead in the mighty waters. Who is like unto thee, O Lord, among the gods? Who is like thee? Glorious in holiness, fearful in praises, doing wonders. Thou stretchest out thy right hand, the earth swallowed them. Thou in thy mercy hast led forth the people, which thou hast redeemed. Thou hast guided them in thy strength unto thy holy habitation. The people shall hear and be afraid. Sorrow shall take hold on the inhabitants of Palestina. Then the dukes of Edom shall be amazed. The mighty men of Moab, trembling, shall take hold upon them. All the inhabitants of Canaan shall melt away. Fear and dread shall fall upon them by the greatness of thine arm. They shall be as still as a stone, till thy people pass over. O Lord, till the people pass over, which thou hast purchased. Thou shalt bring them in, and plant them in the mountain of thine inheritance, in the place, O Lord, which thou hast made for thee to dwell in the sanctuary, O Lord, which thy hands have established. The Lord shall reign forever and ever. For the horse of Pharaoh went in with his chariots, and with his horsemen into the sea. And the Lord brought again the waters of the sea upon them. But the children of Israel went on dry land in the midst of the sea. And Miriam the prophetess, the sister of Aaron, took a timbrel in her hand, and all the women went out after her with timbrels and with dancers. And Miriam answered them, Sing ye to the Lord, for he has triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea. So Moses brought Israel from the Red Sea, and they went out into the wilderness of Shur, and they went 3 days in the wilderness and found no water. And when they came to Marah, They could not drink of the waters of Marah, for they were bitter. Therefore the name of it was called Marah. And the people murmured against Moses, saying, Why shall we drink? What shall we drink? And he cried unto the Lord, and the Lord showed him a tree, which when he had cast into the waters were made sweet. There he made for them a statute and an ordinance, and there he proved them, and said, If thou wilt diligently hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, and wilt do that which is right in his sight, and will give ear to his commandments, and keep all his statutes, I will put none of these diseases upon thee, which I have brought upon the Egyptians, for I am the Lord that healeth thee. And they came to Elim, where were 12 wells of water, and 70 palm trees, and they encamped there by the waters. And that is the end of chapter 15 of Exodus. And it just requires a short recap, because we know the children of Israel are so thankful to God for what they saw happen at the Red Sea. I just heard the name mentioned today, so I can quote it. It was the Red Sea that was parted. And they are singing unto God, saying, God is also a man of war. And this is something we need to understand. God wears many names, and it's according to people's experiences with him. When the people Abraham and Isaac and Jacob had experiences with God, they named God according to their deliverance. And the people of Israel, the same thing. They have been naming God according to their experiences. And we name God, and we can name God according to our experiences. Some of the names will match exactly what they use, because God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. The deliverances may look different, but it is the same concept. God is delivering his people when we call unto him. And the children of Israel are going to be calling unto him quite often, even calling unto him in not such a nice way. Sometimes they're going to get very annoyed with God because they feel their needs are not being met. Just like us, we grouse and we gripe right after we had a deliverance not too long ago. I'm talking about me mostly. But we need to learn to hold on and wait on God. And we fear nothing except we forget how God led us in the past. That's a Bible verse we need to remember. So once again, they just saw what God did in Egypt. All the plagues. They were murmuring and complaining to Moses when they came up to the sea. Lord, you came here now, Moses, to just have us die? You didn't think we had enough graves in Egypt? Now you brought us here to have graves? Okay, then they saw how God parted the sea. Now they are happy and rejoicing and singing songs. Miriam, Moses' sister, because she's Aaron's sister too, beating her timbrel and whatever instruments they had. They were having a good time. They were so happy. Then comes the part. They are in the wilderness. There's no water. 3 days, and they are thirsty, and they need to use water, and they start grousing again. Isn't that like us? Yes. And God told Moses the water could not be drank because it was bitter. Take a certain branch from a certain tree, throw it into the water, and the water became sweet. And there again, we see that God is trying to tell them, hey, I'm here for you. I'm your provider. I will heal I will keep you from the diseases that the Egyptians had. If that's what you are fearing, I will heal you. I will not allow any of these plagues or any hurt or harm to come to you. And this is what God is telling us today too. I am here for you. But we don't think we see. And they had a cloud. They had something visible to denote God was there with them. We have the Spirit that tells us that we can sense that God is with us if we are walking with God. So sometimes for us, not sometimes, for us it takes faith. For them, they needed sight. They need to see something happening. But it's the same God, and God will come through if we can only be patient, wait upon the Lord. So again, I thank you all for viewing. Those of you who have been viewing or have not yet started, welcome. I pray that you will hear anything that maybe would inspire, inform, or maybe just give you some sort of thought, have you thinking about something that you did not before. And until our next reading, remember, faith comes by hearing God's word. So until then, have a blessed day. Bye.